And we're back, everyone. Hello, welcome to Rod and Flagon. I am Oliver Redboots, and I am here, as always.
I am Swan Maulsmith. I am the safety officer at the Temple of Gond. Praise Gond!
Oh, praise Gond indeed. I probably should tell everybody I'm also a sorcerer, but whatever. You know,
You don't think people don't know by now?
I don't know. I hope
you are a man of mystery.
I've tried to keep a low profile, you know,
nonsense.
How many old sorcerers do you know? It's like the lady that runs Silvery Moon, right?
Right, yeah.
After
Laurel?
that,
Yeah, Laurel.
I got nothing.
Right.
Laurel. No, it's Illustrial. She's the.
Oh,
sorcerer,
duh.
right.
Oh,
Laurel's,
geez, that's a faux pas right there.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell her you said that. We'll see her next week at council.
Okay.
All right, so we're here. We're Rod and Flagon. We're here at the Yawning Portal in Waterdeep, and we are here to offer our advice and tips and tricks from the road. Speaking of the road, so I heard you made your way back from Tribor this week.
I did. So we were off for a couple of weeks. Sorry, everybody, if you were expecting to hear from us. You were kind enough to give me a sort of unexpected transportation option to Tribor.
Oh, I'm only sorry that I wasn't able to come, bring you back with it.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I mean, it beats getting on the road for a couple of weeks to get there. I mean, just a couple of weeks to get back, which was fine.
Yeah, and it was an unexpected visit from Dave. That was nice when we got there.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, I guess we should start by Tribor is a village to the northeast of Waterdeep.
So if you're going to Waterdeep, you're going to pass through Amphale and keep going.
Yeah, basically,
until you get to Tribor.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I heard they were recently attacked by giants too, right? I know that's why you were headed there, right?
Well, indirectly, yeah. So I got word. This is sort of I realize we're now telling personal stuff, right? But whatever.
This could. Look, a tip for a trick for the road is also like us telling what the shit we're doing, because so people can get a better context of what Tribor is all about.
Okay, fair. I have a sister who left the family and the Temple of Gond.
This is also my favorite part. Everybody listen to this bit.
A bit of an estranged sister. I hadn't seen...
She's not estranged. She's just plain strange.
Oh, yes.
I'm proud of that joke.
Okay. Yes, I have a sister.
Tell everybody what she is.
She's a druid.
Oh, Swanee's family of clerics have gone, and they've spent their entire lives in the forge around industry and making things, and they raised a barefoot, no shoes, acorns in her hair druid. It just makes me so happy.
Yeah, thanks. No, that's... Yeah. Yep. I have a sister who's a druid. Didn't know that she was going to be a druid when she just kind of left the family in a huff and went off to find herself. And then, years later, we found out she was a druid.
Again, we're not saying there's anything wrong with druids. It just doesn't fit with, your pragmatic family's nature.
We're not druids. We're not druid people. I don't know how to say that more politely than that. We're not druid people.
But you're in Tribor visiting her now, right? So I don't remember why exactly.
We got word that she was going to be in Tribor because there was that giant attack in Tribor.
Right.
And the giant attack did a fair amount of damage to this horse ranch.
Oh, right. Yeah.
The Happy Horse Ranch?
Yeah, the Happy Horse Ranch.
Big deal in Tribor.
Right, and for the people that don't know, it's a huge, Tribor is one of those, it's a very popular spot with ranges and druids, right? Because it's a lot of horses and shit.
Yeah.
And then your sister was helping the Happy Horse Ranch kind of rebuild from that, right?
Correct.
What's the name of that family? The Fell?
Oh, geez. The Carnveller.
Carnvellers, yes. Carnvellers. They're a lovely family. Right?
Oh, they were super nice. They were super nice. And obviously didn't do anything to deserve half their ranch being destroyed by rocks from giants.
Right.
Right. So it was a bit of a, community effort to get them. I mean, that's like Amphale.
It was business. A community effort. So were you surrounded by druids all week? Eating
No,
good berries?
Not really.
Sleeping outside?
I was sleeping outside, yeah, but no, I wasn't surrounded by druids.
Having,
my sister was one of two.
Shit in your hair?
Come on, be nice.
Sorry.
My sister was one of two druids that were making sure that the livestock were well kept after, and I was there to help, rebuild some of the stuff that got destroyed.
I mean, I can't think of a better person to send it if you're going to rebuild than you. I mean, did you make them any golems this time?
No. I mean, this was a little bit more pragmatic.
Just mending fences and whatnot?
Fences and part of the houses were destroyed, and so there was nuts and it gave me an opportunity to go check out Fohammer.
The Forge.
In Tribor.
Oh, God. I'm going to tell everybody now. If you ever travel with Swan, he will insist that you go to every fucking forge in like a radius of 10 miles or so just to check it out.
I mean,
as if there's going to be a difference. They're going to have fucking hammers, perhaps some anvils.
you just don't know what you're looking for.
What? No, of course not. The nuances of forgery. Forge work?
Forge work.
It's definitely not forgery. That's what I do.
That's right.
Like the nuances are lost on me. I can't tell one hammer from the other fucking hammer. They don't just look like hammers. Look at these spindly arms. They look like I can handle a lot of hammers.
No, but this one is particularly famous.
Really?
Oh yeah,
Like
Foehammer's Forge has been around a long. I mean, it's one of the oldest still active forges in Faerun.
So, like, sell it to me as like compared to the one in Waterdeep.
Oh no, the one in Waterdeep is much bigger and much more modern. This one is just sort of it's got historical value.
So it's you're just there to see for the quaintness of it all.
It still works, right? So I got a chance to do some building there on the supplies that were needed. I mean, it was just geez, I can't tell you how many nails I made.
Hang on, dude. You traveled all the way north to help rebuild, and then you spent a significant time in another forge.
I was there to see my sister and be helpful.
Right.
And, the more time I could be helpful, the more time I could spend with my sister.
Please tell me you at least made it into the talking troll for 1 or 2 pints.
Yeah, I got you covered, big guy.
That place is such a dump.
Yo.
So, for younger adventurers, when you're going through Tribor, they have this place. It's called the Talking Troll. It is the shittiest dive bar you will ever. And you could sleep there now, right?
Yeah.
It's
I wouldn't, but you can.
It's one of those places where, if you go there, right, the food sucks, the drinks are warm, the beds are dirty.
They hand you a greasy
yet
yet sticky menu of drinks.
And there's on one side, slippery on the other.
Literally dozens of drinks on this menu, and somehow they're all slightly wrong.
And they all taste remarkably similar.
Yeah.
We have different drinks, and I'm like, no, you really don't.
No, you have malt liquor plus flavor is what you have.
They ring some blueberries into the drink.
Yeah, not good blueberries.
So, but it's one of those things, you have to go there when you go there, right? There's a lot of places like that, but, particularly the Talking Troll is just one of those things. It's a rite of passage. Go to Tribor and go to
I mean, you could go to, what are the other ones? The Tribor Arms, right? That's another famous one, but
that one's just nice.
That's nice. You don't, if you go to the dumpy one.
No one's going, I see, you don't have a few pints and be like, oh, let's go to that. Let's just always, hey, we feel a little rowdy. Let's go to the Talking Troll because we know that's where some shenanigans are going to put. No shenanigans is going to happen anyway.
I mean, you'll probably get a quest at the Tribor Arms, but you'll have a better time at the Talking Troll.
No, you could get quests from the Talking Troll. It's just of dubious nature.
Yeah,
right? It'll be
if you need some rats, some basement rats.
There's plenty of basement rats to kill for new adventurers there.
Oh yeah.
Hell. So you rebuilt half the town, then I imagine, huh?
I mean, we're there for a couple weeks. I mean, at least they're in better shape now. They're not going to get overrun, and their livestock is cared for. I mean, that town would have been a real.
Do you know what type of giants invaded? Big ones, I imagine.
It wasn't hill giants.
No, okay. I guess we should explain that too, right? Young adventurers, there are several types of giants. Hill giants being the lowest on the totem pole as far as they go, and storm giants being the highest on the totem pole.
Yeah, it wasn't stone giants either. Storm giants.
And what do you got? Cloud, fire, and stone.
Probably stone giants.
That doesn't stand to reason. Stone giants are like you. They're they just like to build and make stuff, and they don't normally come out of their caves. And attacking a village is out of stone giant character.
Fair.
So it was probably, if I had to guess, hill or fire, because those are the ones. Oh, and frost giants, but those are all typically.
Yeah, it's not really cold enough.
What was there? There was that guy, the frost giant who was on Force Grey in Waterdeep. He wore that really cool white dragon skull as a helmet.
Oh, right.
He had a big ass sword. That guy was fucking cool.
Yeah,
he was terrifying.
Oh yeah,
but really cool. I don't know. And as frost giants go, I don't think they're normally good. Anyway, we're digressing. This is a tip and trick though. This is why we should talk about Tribor. And so they were attacked probably by fire or hill, right? If you had to pick one of those.
It was not on retrospect. It was probably hill.
Yeah,
but.
I guess if you're going to be attacked by giants, you really want it to be hill, right?
Yeah.
Because they're really just going to take your food.
Yes.
They're portly.
Yeah.
I guess.
You're going to eat your horses.
Right.
Yeah.
That's what they kind of go for.
Right.
So big ass rocks everywhere. Did you had to clear all that out?
Yeah, there was some of that. I mean, they had some of the local strapping lads that were a little bit more responsible for moving the rocks.
So Your sister's name is Matilda, right?
Yes.
So
Maddie.
So Maddie is like, if you would like to rank her druidness, like she like somewhere in the middle, at the upper the higher echelon, like.
I mean, she wasn't born into it, right? I think it was just something that she kind of came to a little bit self-taught. So
Right.
I don't think particularly.
Up there?
Yeah, not particularly up there.
Right, so it's like she can talk to trees, but like they don't always talk back.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry, dude.
No, it smells like skunk weed no matter what,
I still can't get over the fact that you have a druid in your family. The next thing you're going to tell me you have like a necromancer in your family, I'm going to shit my pants.
No.
So like you had to walk back, or did you get some horses?
No, I didn't have to walk back. The Wainwright's wagons family, right, was out of there. And there was a lot of wagons that came into town with supplies to get people situated. And so when it was time for me to head out, all I had to do was really hitch a ride with one of the wagons that was headed back to Waterdeep. And so that's what I did.
I hope I can comp to you for all the work you did in the village, in the town, whatever it is.
I mean, I got fed, and I was there to help and see my sister. I wasn't looking for payment.
No, I hope they comped you for like, not they paid you, like they at least comped you the ride back is what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Did you stop at Amphale again and
Yeah, we did, yeah.
go stay at night at our favorite?
I did. Yeah, I did.
See Mother
I mean,
Goggle?
I had some of the ale, which was the summer ale, still making it. It was really good.
It was so fucking hot last week.
It was.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
So I ended up... Man, do we want to talk about my week while we're gone?
Yeah.
Maybe we could learn something from that, too.
Please.
Dude, I ended up on the Stone Bridge for a little while. God damn. I mean, I didn't want to go there, and I just... Magic got a little away from me.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like just where I ended up coming back.
Okay.
And I guess we should explain what the Stone Bridge is. It's right outside, I don't know exactly, like it's near Red Lodge. It's basically, it's a stone bridge.
It's a stone bridge
I
right
guess
there in the name.
It's evocative, right?
Yeah.
But it's like super high up in the air, and there's no handrails. I really figured like some priests of Gond, or like, kind of like guys like you, would put a fucking handrail on. Nobody's put a fucking
Goading
handrail
me into
on
being
it.
the safety officer for the stone bridge.
Dude, well, I think I've traveled with you so long. The first thing that came into my mind was crossing this damn dangerous-ass bridge was, this really needs a handrail.
Yeah.
Like, how fucking hard would it be to, like, every now and then set up a post, maybe a rope or across, like, something, make a fucking effort. But I don't know who owns it.
No, that's a good question. Yeah, I don't know either.
So I was in the middle of the goddamn thing, and I was like, all right. And I got a bird in the stone bridge. And how I got a magical bird in the middle of the stone bridge, I will never understand. And I don't know. I really need to look into that magic because it was quite impressive.
Okay.
So I had to travel to Port Nienzaru again.
Again? Why?
Well,
I know why, but I mean, why this time?
Well, so there was a little kerfuffle regarding the rankings in our guild there, right? Like, so I guess I should just tell it, right? I should just spill it. So I am a high-ranking member in the Port Nienzaru Thieves Guild, right? And to which I get a small stipend every now and then, which I have to pay off some debts with.
Yep.
So occasionally that we have to vote to either remove someone from a leadership position.
Okay.
It doesn't always have to end like that, but
No.
Typically it does because
When
they're
they've stolen
stealing
too much
guild.
from the rest of the group.
Exactly,
Yeah.
right? You got the rogue tax just got a little too high, or we vote a few members in, or we vote in new hierarchy, right? And because of I'm basically this time I'm like thief emeritus, right? Like I'm not really involved anymore, but
Yeah.
they still bring me down because I can do cool shit with magic, and
Sure.
they kind of need that.
Yeah.
And I'm a thief. Let's just be honest. Like you don't want me picking a lock. You don't want me doing anything like that.
Yeah,
How I
you're
got-
more of a...
not that guy.
You're
right?
more of a rogue than a thief.
Am I?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I have rogue tendencies, but I'm definitely not a rogue.
Yeah, I mean, you're a rule breaker. You're
Right. Well, that's how
charming
that's how I got
swashbuckler
into it
type.
in the first place, right? But you have to make those kinds of decisions, and they called me down, and I did, and oh god, the new leader, he has a fucking pet Tyrannosaurus Rex. So I guess
What?
we should probably talk about Chult too, right? So Port Nienzaru is it's a port city in the land of Chult, which is basically just jungles. And
Right.
everything in that jungle wants to kill you, from the plants all the way up to the the charismatic megafauna that just eat you. They don't
Yeah.
care.
Literally everything in that place wants to eat you.
It wants to eat you, and they will, except
Yeah.
for those little things with the clickety heads. Those are pretty cool. I don't remember what they're called.
The roads want to eat you occasionally. It's like,
Yeah, if it rains, the roads will eat you.
I don't understand how people live there.
The fucking balls, man.
Yeah.
There were people whose literal job it is to take travelers into the jungle and try not to get them eaten. And I guess like a 75% rate of eaten versus not eaten is like satisfactory.
Okay.
So like if we took 4 people into the jungles of Chult and 3 of us came back, they would high five the shit out of that guide.
All
Which
right.
seems like, I mean, like,
Yeah.
if I'm,
You only lost one.
I think like one is too fucking many.
Yeah.
Like you paid for 4, did you protect 4? No, that's a win for them. They have floating rocks in that goddamn place.
That's right. I forgot.
Yeah, like I do not fucking like it's almost like a waste of spells. I have to cast fly on myself just to go have a quick conversation and come back down. And every now and then it's not like a I have to do it multiple fucking times in a day. Anyway, so the new leader of the Thieves Guild has a pet fucking dinosaur. It's 30 feet tall and eats all the food that the thieves are trying to get. So what they brought me down there is we had to have a vote to see whether or not that we would have to have the boss get rid of this fucking T-Rex. No,
I have so many questions.
I know. So, like, dude, you know what I had to do? I had to send the T-Rex to a different plane.
Okay, all right.
So the vote passed, right? And they were like, they were all looking around like, what the do we do about the T-Rex? And I'm like, and I was like, all right, guys, I'll see you next week. Or next month or whenever the I come back. And they were like, no, Bootsy, we need you to get rid of the fucking T-Rex. And I'm like, just open the gate. I feel like this problem will solve itself.
Yeah.
Right, you let it run back into the fucking jungle. Then I realized we're right on the edge of the city, and that's probably a terrible idea. Nobody wants to be responsible for releasing a fucking T-Rex in the middle of a city.
Well, okay, so
I know I'm
can
going
we
a lot,
unpack
right?
this? Like,
this is
I'm
a lot. I don't know
like
what
my first question, which is not the most important question.
Before you ask the question,
Okay.
I do want to say I have no idea what plane I sent that T-Rex to.
Okay.
So if there are some plane hoppers and everything, like a T-Rex has showed up, my sincere apologies. Send us a bird, and I will go and help clean up that.
I mean, part of me hopes that T-Rex is high as a kite on the astral plane right now.
Just floating around.
Yeah.
You got into some mushrooms.
I mean, questions that come to mind.
Like Feywild. Oh, that'd be another cool place for a T-Rex, right?
Yeah.
Like Oberon's like, what the f*** is this?
Yeah.
Sorry. Go ahead. Questions. Yes, absolutely.
Did the T-Rex get a vote?
No, I guess we should have called your sister and had him awaken him. You know, like, and we could have given him a vote.
All right.
We probably would have had to explain the situation first, but we did not give the T-Rex a vote.
How does the head of the Thieves Guild think a T-Rex is conducive to maintaining a low-profile Thieves Guild?
Well, I think initially it was like given to him by like one of the more popular nobles that run Port Nienzaru. Right?
Okay.
It's like, I guess it was more of a merchant. It's not really a noble class there, but like it was given to him as a present, and you know when you see them for the first time, they're no bigger than a house dog. But that changes like really fucking fast.
Yeah.
And then he was using it kind of like as an example setter, right? You know, like you f***ed up, and they would just feed him to the T-Rexes, and then like the other higher ups started to have a problem with that, and it being. Well,
I mean, everybody would want a T-Rex at that point, right? Because
you just feed bad to it and ne'er-do-wells to it, right?
you need your own T-Rex for protection from other T-Rexes. I mean, it's just...
I know, it doesn't make any sense.
That's a T-Rex tiny arms race right there.
So I got called down there. We had the vote, and he was really broken up over it. But, we had to do it.
What was the T-Rex's name?
They called Count Exy? Or
Count
some shit
Exy?
Like that. they gave him a nobility title, and I couldn't figure it out. I was like, okay, Count Rexy. I said Exy. It was Count Rexy.
Count Rexy.
Yeah. Why
I mean, to be fair, pretty noble. Pretty higher up in that. Like, if anybody that can eat me should have some kind of title.
Dude, you should have seen the size of these teeth. I actually have one back in the apartment. I kept one.
Of course you did.
Well, come on, man. I just send it away. Right? So they asked me, I was like, can I have a tooth? And they said, well, how do you get it out? And I got it out. We're not going to discuss how. It's like, I have my ways. I'm not completely incompetent. And then I sent it to...
Someplace.
Plane shift is one of the things that I can do with magic, right? So we can travel to different planes, we can come back, and right. But there's always a chance that I don't know what plane we're going to go to. And I get really great magic, but sometimes it just has a mind of its own.
Yep.
That was one of those times. So I honestly, I really hope it didn't end up in Sigil, or I'm never getting an invite back.
Yeah. Well, I haven't heard anything. Right?
No, I guess we should keep our ears out there.
It could have gone into one of the Earth planes. It could have gone to the Fire planes. Probably not there anymore.
If I sent it to one of the elemental planes, the problem's definitely solved right now.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine if we go to like the city of Embers
they're cooking some big steaks.
Or the Sultan is like, quick, guys. We know it was you, Boots. Can we listen to the show? Like, how much do I owe you? Sorry about that.
If you have experienced dinosaur-related damage to your property, please contact us.
Could you imagine the insurance premiums on that? Like, I don't know.
This is why we don't have adventuring insurance.
Oh, no, God, no.
What did you do? We sent a dinosaur someplace. Someplace expensive?
Well, I guess everything's expensive if you have a dinosaur.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, so that was my week. I had spent, and then after that, Port Nienzaru is a really great place to visit because they have dinosaur races there.
That's right.
So you can watch a velociraptor race like something else, like a triceratops or some shit.
Yeah.
And
Quick hint, if it's got Velosa in the name, it's probably the faster one.
Right. The other thing is sometimes they don't even use the fucking racetracks, dude. They will just have a race in the streets. Like there's like carts, there's kids going to school, and the next thing you know, there's a fucking triceratops with a little kobold on him, whack him on the bum to get him to go faster. It's wild. It's wild. It is the craziest place I've ever been to. And apparently there's some temple there that was underwater that has gone it's come back.
Oh yeah.
So in my younger days, I would have been like, dude, we need to go check that shit out. But now I'm like, fuck that. I just sent a T-Rex to a different plane. I think I'm going to sit the rest of the week out.
Yeah.
Wow, so that was a lot to unpack for everyone. Maybe we should go freshen up our drinks?
Yeah, absolutely. We get a good fresh drink. We did get some birds. They came in.
All right,
so we'll cover some birds when we get back.
We can answer some questions, and we'll be right back, everyone. All right, and we're back with fresh drinks.
Yes, we are.
Sorry I didn't go with ale this time. I went with coffee, and I'm a little dragon right now.
Well,
it was a busy week.
It was a busy week.
It was a busy week. Not often do I get to teleport all over the realms and send my friends to cool places. And I haven't seen Maddie in, oh my god, it must have been at least a decade.
Yeah, yes. And her son was there. I have a nephew who I very, very, very rarely get a chance
I'm sorry
to
I couldn't stick around to meet him. Forgive me for that.
So,
but, maybe next time.
Yeah.
So you said we had some birds. We always do this. Hey everyone, Rod and Flagon.
Yep.
You can send your birds to us at Rod and Flagon, and Darren has been really good about getting us the ones that get sent here. And of course, you can send your birds to me at Oliver Redboots or to Swanee at S Maulsmith.
That's right.
I nailed it that time.
Yep.
Damn, about time. So send us your birds. If you have questions, or you're in need of tips or tricks, or you just want to f with us a little bit. Please do.
Yeah. Do not send us advertisements. Do not send us hey, if you go here and talk to this guy, you can get XYZ tax breaks. Please don't send us that stuff.
I don't need to buy any more property up north in 10 towns. Thank you, though.
No, I'm not interested in your timeshare.
No.
Right, just stop. I didn't go on the road adventuring for 30 years.
But you should say it. No, say it. Say it, Swanee. I have a little place in Neverwinter.
Oh, God.
I have a little place in Klimshan.
Do you now?
Not really. You know how fucking hard it would be to vacation all the way down there for a normal person? You had to get on a boat and sail down there for a month just to be able to take, a few days there and then fucking come back to work? Timeshare is just the stupidest idea I've ever heard.
It really is. It really is.
It's I don't know where these fucking morons come up with these business ideas. Ugh. Anyway, enough of that. So you said we had some birds this week. I'm sorry.
I prioritized. We got probably more to get through than we could get through today.
Wow,
but
well, yeah, we were away as well. Yeah.
Right. Nuts and bolts adventuring questions from new adventurers. Right. So I've got a couple here for you.
I love that you're asking a question that you would probably already also answer because I'm not the nuts and bolts guy. Let's just be honest.
Well, here's one that I know that
I'm the frills and fucking lace guy.
Yeah. Got a question which made me chuckle because we had a guy that was like this. Insists on bringing a 10-foot pole.
Why?
Adventuring.
What the fuck for?
I don't know. We never could figure it out.
It's dude, I have mage hand. I can send it to go do the thing. That's
right.
The same thing that the fucking 10-foot pole could have.
He couldn't pole vault.
No, it's not like he was using it to fight monsters. He just insisted. You know how fucking stupid it is to carry a 10-foot pole when the ceiling is only 7.5 feet tall?
Yeah.
You dip.
Right.
And then you're just poking everyone in the adventuring party, especially when you were able to see in the dark. But we finally got that sorted out.
Yes.
There was literally no other use for the 10-foot pole.
No, it was just a gigantic.
Do you remember when this dumbass cut it in half and he wanted to mill it till you could screw it together? So he had technically had two 5.5 or two 5-foot poles,
which was still better.
It's way better, but it was still dumb as shit.
Right.
I will never understand the younger adventurers' reliance on the 10-foot pole. If you're going to poke a mimic, right, or something you think is a mimic with a 10-foot pole, there's no difference. It's not going.
Throw a rock at it, for goodness sake.
Mimics aren't fucking stupid. It's going to wait until the thing is operated. It's a predator. They're not dumb. You poke it with a stick. A 10-foot pole is about as useful as a fishing rod in a dungeon.
I mean, how many times did we go to a cave where, taverns are one thing, it's a pain in the neck, but, the cave, God, trying to just turn these sharp corners in the cave with a stupid 10-foot pole?
Just, trying to angle his 10-foot pole to not make it, and when we're hiding from something.
Clack, 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 clack. Oops, sorry, clack, clack.
Yep, nope. Oh, well, Christ. Well, now, great. Now the ogres know we're here, Bob. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Bob.
Moron. I think the 10-foot pole actually got us into more fights then it got us out of fights.
Absolutely.
There's
Absolutely.
no doubt, right?
What could you possibly need a 10-foot pole for that you can't do with mage hand, or you can't do by
With
picking up a
fucking
rock
rope.
or some rope?
Right, you can lift up, you can pick down, like, dude, get over yourself with a 10-foot pole. I know that for many years, especially in our generation, I think it was really more our generation, Swanee, if we're just being 100% honest, right?
Yeah.
The 10-foot pole was ubiquitous for older adventurers. And the younger group, I feel like they have a bit more, I think they've called shenanigans on that stupid fucking pole rule, right? I would never leave, always take extra rations and a 10-foot pole. Shut your face.
I will say, if you're a monk, you can carry whatever you want. If a 10-foot pole is your thing, I've seen some monks do some interesting things with some inanimate objects, and they're smart enough to not, like, whack, But if you're Bob the Fighter, then I'm going to shove that pole so far up your...
I guess there are exceptions to every rule. We shouldn't paint with that broad of a brush, right? I'm sure there are some monks that use a 10-foot pole as their weapon.
Yeah.
But by and large, if you're a regular guy,
Yeah.
right, if you're a fighter like Bob,
Yeah.
you don't fucking need it.
You do not need
You
a
especially
10-foot
don't
pole.
need it, like, when we were getting, like, better at this. Like, like, we could do cool shit with magic, and, like, Thud was strong enough to throw me fucking 30 feet in the air to
Yeah.
land on the other side of a pit trap. Why do we need a pole?
Right.
We just didn't need it. So, I don't know. I am not an advocate for the 10-foot pole, nor will I ever be.
Agreed.
So, like, younger adventurers, forego the 10-foot pole for a better piece of equipment. And if you're going to have a rope, take a fucking grappling hook, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not a wizard, right, and you can't do rope trick, or sorcerer, I think I've seen you do rope trick.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's only because not all my magic comes from just being a
That's
sorcerer.
fair, yeah. Rope, much better than a 10-foot pole. You do need 50 foot of rope. Like, I will go to the mat for that one.
Yeah,
50
I
feet
never
of rope
carried it
is
because
useful.
I know you guys did.
Yeah.
Right? So I won't doubt its usefulness, but, like, if we're going to walk all day, I don't want to carry a bunch of shit. I'm lazy.
Yeah. Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
I knew
That checks
you would.
out.
And I knew you would. So, like, listen, I'm not going to carry the rope if I know you're going to.
Okay, fair.
All right, what else we got?
Here's a question. If you don't have a bag of holding,
You should get a bag of holding.
well, yeah, clearly.
Whatever question's about to come up, it should end with, but if you can, get a bag of holding.
Yeah. Like, let's just start there. If you can get a
All right.
bag of holding, get one, because they're
They're the best.
the best.
There's no other magic equipment that anyone has ever made that will top a bag of holding.
No.
I don't care what it is. The bag of holding is the most, useful piece of equipment of all time.
Oh, hands down.
Not even close. Not a second. Like, everybody else is fighting for second place.
Yeah.
But.
But the question.
Right.
The question is, if you don't have a bag of holding and you come across a lot of gold, what do you do?
Yeah, this has happened to us before. Like, I have that floating disc spell,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That was really convenient. We could just put all
We
the
just put
shit
all
on
the
there, right?
stack it up and try not to jostle too much. But
If I remember correctly, we wrapped most of it in the tent, right? We put the tent on the disc,
That's
so
right.
we would know where the disc was, and then we put all the gold in the tent, and then we folded the tent around the gold so people wouldn't be like, "Oh, what's in the tent?" And it's clearly a ton of treasure.
right.
That eventually all went to the Church of Gond. Well, dude, I'm just saying it did. You hurt my feelings with that. I'm not saying that it wasn't, important for us to give that treasure to the church, but, like, at the time, I was a little bit younger, a little bit rasher. And harsher.
You got your cut. Only my cut went to the Church of Gone.
No, it was going to the orphanage. I gave it to them too.
Oh,
I'm not going to take them away from from needy children. I'm not a monster.
that's fair.
Well, I guess I am a monster, but, like, I'm not that bad of a monster.
Okay.
So I mean, like, that's a good one, right? That's the tensest floating disc. But if you don't have access to magic,
Yeah.
man, you're kind of f***ed. I guess you're just going to carry what you can, and then 'cause a lot of people don't know gold is heavy as shit.
Gold is super duper heavy.
So, like, I always preferred to get, like, a bubble, right? Like a diamond, right?
Yeah,
A
yeah.
diamond, an emerald. plus a
Prioritize the shinies that's not metal.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
Like, you could, like, come across a vast treasure of copper. You'd be like, oh, great.
Yeah.
What am I going to do with this?
Hooray.
Remember we found, like, a few thousand electrum?
Oh, yeah.
And I had to talk Thud and really, like, sit him down and be like, no, this is the same as gold. It's just a little bit less valuable.
Right.
He didn't believe me.
Right.
45 fucking minutes I'm arguing with a gigantic barbarian over the value of electrum.
I know.
He didn't even want his cut.
This is worthless.
I don't want it.
Can't spend this.
And he still ended up carrying most of it.
Yeah.
I'm carrying your trash boots. That was one of my favorite adventures. All right.
I mean, get your biggest party member a decent pack.
Yeah, the quality too. Quality counts. Like,
Right.
we spent a lot of money on our packs.
Yeah.
Could you imagine you're carrying all this valuable shit halfway there, the bottom of your pack breaks out?
No.
Yeah,
I
you'll
mean,
be feel f***ed. Just turn around, give up the adventuring lifestyle, go be a baker or something.
I mean, we talked about this too. Like, kobolds will reset the traps, right? So you can't just assume.
I just wish I'd have known that at the time, because I probably would have eradicated the kobold families. Actually, I guess I'm glad you didn't tell me until now, because I probably would have eradicated the kobold families, right? And then, like, a younger adventurer wouldn't learn the same lessons that we learned in those dungeons.
I'm just saying, like, don't assume you have easy passage out.
Oh, also, don't assume that if you just say, we'll just leave it here and we'll come back for it, that it'll be exactly like you'll have to basically run the gambit again, right?
Right.
So, like, it's not like you can just go and, like, oh, we'll just leave this large treasure pile here and then come back and get it later. No, because you're going to have to fight a lot of the same monsters. You're going to go through a lot of the same traps. And if it's like a wizard or a cult, for sure they're going to call in backup at that time.
Yeah.
You never know, you might have to fight some elder god to get your treasure. So, take what you can and then get out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not critical to take every single last shiny bauble piece of gold. Like, make sure if you can, fill your pockets. Fill your pockets with the biggest rocks.
And if there are magic items, or you think there are magic items, identify.
Those. Yeah.
At least detect magic on them, right? Like, like you cast your spell of like what is and is not magic. Prioritize those items first, because typically, a magical sword is worth way more than 100 gold.
I will say we had a rule we sort of figured out later on, which was detect magic up front, leave the dungeon, then identify. Like, don't camp out.
Yeah, I would say that's the appropriate order.
Yeah,
right?
Don't camp out where the treasure is.
Nope.
And let your wizard start doing the identify ritual after unidentify ritual after identify. You're just waiting for people to sneak up on you.
Yeah, that's the only way I know how to do it.
Right.
Like,
but do it in the dungeon. Do it outside the dungeon.
Yeah, you just grab everything that gives off that aura, back off.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that's actually a good tip. Because if you shit in there, you're giving the kobolds time to reset everything and maybe let in more monsters.
Yeah. No. Pick it up and move it.
All right. What's next?
So speaking of magic items.
Okay.
Should you ever trust an item that can think for itself?
Oh my god, no.
Yeah.
Like a sentient magic item?
Yeah.
Why would you ever do that?
Never.
I guess there, again, I don't want to point with too broad of a brush. I'm sure there are some like ancient dwarven weapons, right? That are, like benevolent, right? But I would suggest that if a sword is talking to you, its ulterior motives or its goals are, in fact, nefarious.
You should assume that if you have an object that's sentient, the actual sentient part is not there by choice.
No, it's definitely not. And it's probably like eating souls, right? Or like trapping, like using your power to get its own power and build up. So I know, oh man, we went plane hopping. This is years and years ago. I'm trying to remember the name of the little frail guy. He had white hair and he was an albino, right? He was really, really he was pretty frail, honestly, right? And he had that huge black sword. And I don't remember the name of it, but when he wielded that sword, he was incredibly powerful.
Right.
And if I remember correctly, when we saw that for the first time, we f***ed off right away. We were like, you know what, this probably is not our plane. We should get out of here.
Yeah, there's a red flag here.
Right, there's like, oh, that guy, he looks like he's a delicate flower, and then, oh my god, he's killing everything. Well, it's been fun, it's been real, we got to get out of here.
Right.
And that kind of shit happens more with the sentient magic items. So don't trust them.
No.
Not at all.
No.
If I remember correctly, it's usually swords. Why is it usually swords?
That's a good question. I don't know why.
Is it because they're easy to forge, or that it's easier to put the magic into? Or are they just more useful weapon for the type of people that would want to use them?
I mean, I'm not an enchanter. I don't know.
I don't know.
We did have come across like an enchanted hammer or two.
Yeah, but like usually that was like done by a cleric of some type of god, though. It wasn't done by like a me.
No.
I'd never learned how to do that. I'd really like to.
Really?
No, I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
I mean, I can make rings magical temporarily, but like that's not my thing, man. I mean,
why would you? You said you wanted to learn how to do this?
I know I probably should have, but like it seems like a lot of work.
Oh no, I my understanding is it's a tremendous amount of work.
Yeah, it's like why would I do that when I can do all of that shit innately?
Like, yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff is like, you think about the amount of work that goes into making a magic item of some kind.
Oh, it's tremendous.
Sometimes it's like you have to do the same thing every day for a year.
Yeah, and then sometimes like the juice isn't worth the squeeze. You get like a shit magic item.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, oh, this sword is extremely sharp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or these gloves will resize themselves to whoever wants to wear them. What else do they do? No, they're just gloves. Like, well, cool.
Warm,
Yeah. They can be elf gloves. They can be giant gloves. What do they do? +1 to keeping my fingers warm.
That's not useful at all.
No.
All right. What else? What have we got? These are good tips, Swanee. I gotta admit. Like, I mean, that's another thing. If you're traveling north, buy a good coat. Like the simple.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not here to advertise. Well, I don't have anybody here to advertise coats, but for goodness sakes, like,
get a nice winter jacket.
This one's probably a question for me. Maybe. I mean, you're not really a stabby guy.
Typically, the pragmatic more of a question for you, and then I just add my 2 cents anyway.
Right. Now, how many knives or daggers should you carry?
Oh, dude, I've seen people just covered in them.
Yeah.
Like they like it looked like they were wearing a suit made out of fucking daggers.
Yeah, we've seen people. We used to joke were wearing like dagger mail.
Yes, I do. I mean, I'm not really like okay. So I am a high-ranking member of a Thieves Guild, but that's more by by chance than anything else. But like, I do know a lot of thieves that will wear 15 to 20 daggers.
It gets weird, right?
It does.
Because again, they're supposed to be the quiet ones. There's only so many you can wear before they start clinking into each other.
But the ones that do it well, do it really fucking well.
Yeah.
I know there was a circus performer. I think she was actually a bard, but she had just covered in fucking daggers and flipping all over the place and throwing the daggers at them. It was really effective, but like, I guess that's why she needed so many of them. But like, at what point does it get like you're just basically a hoarder? You're basically a dragon, right?
Yeah.
You're like, just instead of treasure, you have fucking daggers.
Also, it was like Chihuahua was losing at least one of them, right?
Yes.
Because it's like I started with 20 and I started throwing them here and there, and like at the end of the fight, I had to go find them all, and I don't know, 2 of them escaped. I don't know where they went.
It also seems like it's a lot of maintenance too, right? The more daggers, the longer time you have to sharpen.
Yeah,
and, like,
seriously,
oil.
that's a lifestyle at that point, right? What are you doing? Oh, you're gonna sharpen your 6 like,
Like if I say I'm going to sharpen my dagger, it's a euphemism for something. If like they say it, they like literally go
no,
to sharpen
I
daggers.
gotta spend all night
sharpening a dagger,
rubbing this rock with my knives.
And like some like those mundane daggers aren't effective against all of the things that we had to battle. So it's like you're basically throwing rocks at that point.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know if you can get a bunch of magic. Like there was that one guy. I think he was a drow, right? He had that dagger, that bracelet that just like made infinite daggers.
That was nice.
That was a really cool thing.
Yeah.
Like so that kind of I would suggest that these dagger hoarders get one of those instead of that. So like they can just manifest all the daggers of their dreams.
Yeah.
I don't know if they linger afterwards. We didn't really see that, but I'm sure they dissolve or whatever, right? So you could have your dagger, extravaganza without all of the clinking.
Yeah.
Dagger mail. Now, I mean, like, check that out. That was pretty cool. I can't remember that drow's name, but he was a little flamboyant. We'll meet him again. He had the hat. Remember the guy with the hat and the feather in the hat?
Oh, yeah.
The eye patch that constantly shifted eyes? You should probably remember who the hell that guy was. So is that it, Swanee? Are we good for this week?
Yeah, I mean, some other questions, but we can get to them next week.
Oh, you want to do one more? Let's do one more before we go.
Okay, so here's something we haven't talked about in the past.
All right.
And I don't have a ton of experience with. Maybe you do. And you would think I would have experience with this, but I don't.
What do you got?
There's a question here about a Warforged.
Okay. All right. We should probably explain Warforged first.
Yeah.
They're basically sentient golems from another land. I can't remember the name of the land, but they're basically like robots.
They're
right?
yeah.
They're suits of armor that are smart, and
Right.
they have like their own innate intellect.
Right. That's right. They're sort of semi-sentient?
No, they're definitely sentient because they have their own unique personalities and all that stuff. And I believe there was a war on a different plane, and they were designed to fight in that war,
That's
and
right.
have now like been given their free will.
That's right. So the question was, should I trust a Warforged?
Well, they're just like any other person.
Yeah.
Like if they're trustworthy, you'll know eventually, right? If they're not, you'll also know that eventually.
You won't be able to tell, by the way, if they're lying to you.
It's extraordinarily difficult because they don't have the same amount of facial expressions.
Right.
Right. So I mean, it's possible, right? But it's not exactly. It's more of that's more of like a skill, right? You like learned over time.
Yeah. You really got to know this person to understand. There's very, very sort of subtle changes in tone and
Exactly, and like just like any other people or any other sentient beings, they're a good warforged. They're a warforged, right? They're, by and large, great party members. I've heard. I haven't traveled with one, but I don't see why they wouldn't be.
I wouldn't turn my nose up at a Warforged companion as part of an adventuring party.
Not even a little bit. I think
Right.
I think they'd be a great traveling companion. Like they wouldn't complain as much as the cold probably doesn't affect them as much. The heat probably doesn't affect them as much.
They can do a really good job of keeping watch at night.
Do they eat? Like, 'cause you can save a lot on rations if they don't. I don't
think they
do.
eat. I think they require maintenance in other ways.
Like they need to get lubed up.
Yeah.
Hey man, I need to get lubed up every now and then too.
Ew.
Whackity schmackity do, buddy.
Yeah.
All
Brown
right.
chicken, brown cow.
All
I
right,
see where you're going.
I don't think we can beat that for the rest of the day. So I think we should end it right there. What do you think?
I think we're good.
All right, everybody, be sure to send your birds to @Flagon or to @Oliver Redboots or to @S Maulsmith, and we hope to see everybody next week. Also, tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Tell them not to start on episode 1 though. They're like, go to episode 2 and 3. Remember, we're episodic, not and not an anthology.
We're not
right?
a serial.
Yeah, we're not serial. So, all right, we'll see everybody next week.
Take care, everybody.